The 1988 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar is a fascinating modern collectible coin that bridges the late 20th century era of American coinage. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin proudly bears the D Mint mark located just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse. It belongs to the long-standing Washington Quarter series, first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1988, the quarter had already become one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. circulation, symbolizing both national heritage and stability. Though the 1988 D quarter might seem common at first glance, its story, striking details, and rare variants make it an appealing piece among collectors, especially in high-grade condition or with striking mint errors, new para. The composition of the 1988 D Washington quarter is the same as other modern-clad quarters minted since 1965. It is made of a copper-nickel alloy, specifically a cupronickel outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The coin weighs 5.67 grams, measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, and features a reeded edge. On the obverse side, we see the enduring portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1988. The reverse design, used continuously until the launch of the State Quarters program in 1999, features a majestic eagle with spread wings perched on a bundle of arrows, framed by olive branches, a powerful symbol of America's strength and peace, new para. The Denver Mint produced an enormous number of quarters in 1988, over 596 million coins, making the 1988 D issue a very common coin in circulation. However, while circulated examples are plentiful and hold only face value, the real treasures lie in uncirculated or error varieties. Coins that escaped wear and tear, especially those with full mint luster and sharp details, are highly desirable to collectors. The condition of a coin is measured by its grade, and the higher the grade, the higher the value. Coins graded MS-65 gem uncirculated can fetch $25–50, while near-perfect examples in MS-67 or higher are much rarer and can sell for several $100s, new para. In some exceptional cases, collectors and dealers have paid up to $500 for outstanding high-grade 1988 D quarters certified by PCGS or NGC. These coins often display perfect strikes, brilliant luster, and virtually no contact marks. Coins that exhibit a mirror-like, proof-like finish or unique natural toning, such as rainbow or golden hues, can also attract premium prices. These qualities make the coin visually stunning and enhance its appeal to numismatists who value both rarity and beauty, new para. Another major factor that elevates the 1988 D quarter's worth is the presence of mint errors. During high-speed production at the Denver Mint, mistakes occasionally occurred, leading to fascinating error coins that are now prized collector items. Examples include double-die obverse, DDO, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and struck-through errors. For instance, a 1988 D quarter with noticeable doubling in the word liberty, or in God we trust, would be a rare and highly collectible find. Similarly, an off-center strike where part of the design is missing due to misalignment can sell for several $100s or more, depending on the severity and eye appeal, new para. The historical context of this coin adds another layer of interest. The late 1980s represented a period of modernization for the U.S. Mint, with improvements in coinage technology, press precision, and quality control. The 1988 D quarter reflects this transition. While most examples are uniform, subtle variations and mint errors tell the story of the evolving minting process. Collecting coins from this period offers insight into the craftsmanship, machinery, and economic circumstances of the time, new para. The design legacy of John Flanagan's Washington portrait also contributes to the coin's lasting popularity. First introduced in 1932, this design endured for decades and became a beloved symbol of American heritage. By 1988, it was nearing the end of its uninterrupted run, soon to be replaced by the new State Quarters reverse in 1999. Thus, The 1988 D quarter marks one of the last chapters of the classic Washington quarter design before the modern commemorative era began. For collectors, this adds a layer of nostalgia and historical continuity, new para. When assessing a 1988 D quarter, condition and eye appeal remain the key determinants of value. Coins stored in original mint sets or rolls tend to preserve their luster and surfaces better than those in circulation. Collectors should look for coins with a strong strike on Washington's hair details and the eagle's feathers. These areas are often the first to show weakness. Any sign of doubling, planché flaw, or toning pattern should be examined closely, as such characteristics can dramatically increase the coin's desirability. New para. From an investment perspective, the 1988 D quarter is a coin that represents both affordability and potential. While it may not be as rare as silver quarters from the pre-1965 era, high-grade examples and error coins have continued to appreciate as more collectors focus on modern-clad series. The growing interest in registry sets, where collectors compete to assemble the highest-graded sets of each series, has pushed prices upward for even common date quarters like the 1988 D in superior condition. These coins appeal to both novice and seasoned collectors who understand that modern coins in perfect condition can be far scarcer than their massive mintages suggest. New para. In today's numismatic market, the 1988 D Washington quarter dollar has a market value of around $500 for rare or exceptional examples, especially those featuring dramatic mint errors or superb gem quality certified by major grading services. Circulated coins remain common, but finding one in MS67 or higher is a true accomplishment. Auction records show that perfectly struck examples with minimal abrasions or brilliant luster often achieve top prices. Additionally, coins with unusual die cracks or planché errors have drawn significant attention from error coin specialists. New para. For those who enjoy the thrill of searching, discovering a valuable 1988 D quarter in pocket change or a coin roll is still possible, though unlikely. Coin roll hunting and careful magnified inspection can reveal hidden gems. Beginners are encouraged to use magnifiers or jeweler's loupes to check for doubling on the date, letters, or mint mark area. Even slight misalignments or missing details could signify a minting anomaly worth hundreds. New para. Ultimately, the 1988 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar stands as more than just small change. It is a miniature piece of history, art, and craftsmanship. It embodies decades of American tradition, representing the final decades before the state quarters revolutionized the series. Its value lies not just in the metal but in the story it tells. A story of precision, production, and the pursuit of perfection by the U.S. Mint. Whether in a collector's case, a grading holder, or discovered unexpectedly in circulation, the 1988 D quarter reminds us that hidden treasures often rest in plain sight. With a current estimated market value of $500 for top condition and rare varieties, this coin is a testament to how ordinary circulation issues can achieve extraordinary worth through rarity, preservation, and passion for numismatics. Next up, the 1980 D Washington quarter dollar is one of those fascinating coins that collectors often overlook at first glance. But upon closer inspection, it holds significant historical and numismatic importance. Struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the D Mint mark placed just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse, this coin is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. By 1980, the Washington Quarter had already been circulating for nearly 5 decades, and although most pieces were produced in huge numbers for everyday commerce, some varieties, errors, and especially well-preserved examples can carry substantial collector premiums today. The 1980 D quarter was made of the standard copper-nickel-clad composition that replaced 90% silver in 1965. It weighs 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters and a reeded edge, all consistent with the modern quarter specifications. The obverse features John Flanagan's famous portrait of George Washington, while the reverse depicts an eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows, a design used until the state quarters program began in 1999. New para. One of the most important factors that determines the value of a 1980 D Washington quarter is its condition and grade. Circulated examples typically trade only at face value, since millions were produced and most survive in worn condition. However, uncirculated examples graded MS65 and above can be far more desirable. The luster, strike quality, and absence of contact marks play major roles in the grading process. Coins in gem condition with strong eye appeal often sell for significantly higher prices than average examples. Professional grading by services like PCGS or NGC can greatly enhance market value because it certifies authenticity and condition, giving collectors confidence in their purchase. In high mint state grades such as MS67, the 1980 D quarter becomes scarcer, as very few examples survive with pristine surfaces and sharp details. New para. Another element that makes the 1980 D quarter intriguing is the presence of mint errors and die varieties. Collectors are always on the lookout for doubled dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and other unusual minting mistakes that slipped past quality control at the Denver Mint. Such errors can dramatically increase a coin's desirability and value. For example, a 1980 D quarter with a strong double die obverse showing doubling on Washington's motto, "In God We Trust," or the word "liberty," would attract strong bidding in auctions. Similarly, a coin struck off-center or with partial collar errors may sell for hundreds of dollars depending on the severity and visibility of the mistake. These varieties are rare compared to regular strike coins, and their uniqueness fuels collector demand. New para. Beyond errors and grade, the historical context of the coin also adds to its charm. In 1980, the U.S. economy was grappling with high inflation, and the purchasing power of the quarter had already shifted compared to earlier decades. Coins from this period represent an important snapshot of American economic history. The Denver Mint itself played a vital role in producing large quantities of circulating coinage during this time. In fact, the 1980 D quarter had a mintage of over 518 million coins, a huge number that ensured its widespread circulation across the nation. Despite the large mintage, pristine high-grade examples remain challenging to find because most entered commerce immediately and experienced heavy use. New para. The design significance of the Washington quarter should not be overlooked. The portrait of George Washington has become one of the most iconic images in U.S. coinage history. John Flanagan's artwork, though criticized by some early collectors for its simplicity, has endured for decades as a symbol of American heritage. Collectors of Washington quarters often pursue complete date and mint mark sets, which means that the 1980 D is an essential piece in the series. While not as rare as early silver issues or low mintage varieties, it still holds value as part of the larger historical continuum of the Washington quarter, new para. From an investment perspective, the 1980 D Washington quarter is a coin that can serve both beginners and advanced numismatists. For beginners, it provides an accessible entry point into coin collecting since circulated examples are easy to obtain. For advanced collectors, the challenge lies in acquiring high-grade examples or rare error varieties, which can be worth considerably more. Some gem-quality examples with exceptional toning, such as vibrant rainbow colors caused by natural chemical reactions on the coin's surface, have sold for impressive premiums in auctions. As toning adds to a coin's aesthetic appeal and uniqueness, new para. Today, the market value of a 1980 D Washington quarter in typical circulated condition is only 25 cents, but uncirculated examples can command higher prices. In mint state 65, the coin may be valued at around $15.25 depending on eye appeal. Exceptional high-grade examples in MS67 or better can reach several $100s, as these are genuinely scarce. Meanwhile, unique errors and high-quality varieties can push values even further. On average, collectors estimate the market value of a noteworthy 1980 D quarter to be about $200, especially for error coins, toned examples, or high-grade certified pieces. This figure represents the premium that serious collectors are willing to pay for standout specimens in the current numismatic market, new para. The popularity of Washington quarters also means that the 1980 D coin benefits from strong collector demand. Many enthusiasts build year sets, mint mark sets, or complete Washington quarter runs, ensuring that each year's issue, including 1980 D, remains desirable. Its status as a clad coin from the late 20th century makes it less glamorous than silver issues, but demand for high-quality clad coins has grown significantly in recent decades, especially as collectors seek to complete modern series with coins in top condition, new para. For those who own or discover a 1980 D Washington quarter in change, the first step is to carefully inspect its condition. If it appears uncirculated or has unusual features, it may be worth submitting to a grading service for authentication. Even common-looking coins can hide doubled dies or subtle mint errors that, once identified, can dramatically boost their value. Coin enthusiasts often recommend using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to examine details like lettering, date, mint mark, and edge for anomalies, new para. Collecting coins like the 1980 D Washington quarter is about more than just financial gain. It connects individuals to the nation's history, the artistry of coinage, and the fascinating process of minting. Every scratch, mark, and detail tells a story of where the coin has been and what era it represents. For the 1980 D, that story includes a time of economic challenges, high production minting, and the ongoing popularity of Washington's image in American culture. Next up, the 1972 No Mint Mark Washington quarter. Dollar is one of those fascinating coins that continues to intrigue collectors and numismatists alike due to its history, rarity, and subtle design characteristics. Minted during a time of transition in the United States coinage system, this coin carries both historical and collectible significance. The 1972 quarter without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which at that time did not use a mint mark on its coins. This absence of a mint mark can often confuse new collectors, who may initially believe they have found an error coin. However, the 1972 No Mint Mark quarter is a genuine Philadelphia issue, and when found in uncirculated or pristine condition, it can hold a market value of up to $700, depending on its condition, luster, and rarity in higher grades. The Washington Quarter Series began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The obverse features a detailed portrait of Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, based on Jean-Antoine Houdon's famous bust of the first U.S. president. The reverse design showcases a majestic bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, symbolizing both strength and peace. By 1972, this classic design had been in use for 4 decades, and although millions were minted, coins from this period that remain in exceptional condition have become highly collectible over time. The 1972 No Mint Mark quarter is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin from circulation can gain significant value due to its preservation, rarity in mint state, and historical relevance. Most 1972 quarters were heavily circulated, which means that the majority you'll find today are worn and lack their original mint luster. However, coins that have been well preserved, stored properly, or graded by reputable services such as PCGS or NGC can command strong prices in the collector's market. For instance, uncirculated examples with sharp details, bright surfaces, and no signs of wear can easily fetch several $100s, while those in gem mint condition can even exceed $700. Coins that have strong eye appeal, clear details in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, and no scratches or discoloration are especially sought after by investors and coin enthusiasts. One reason this coin continues to attract attention is the historical period during which it was minted. The early 1970s were a time of economic change in America. Silver had already been removed from circulating coins a few years earlier, and the composition of the quarter had shifted to a copper-nickel-clad planchet with a pure copper core. This change made the 1972 quarter part of the modern era of U.S. coinage, where cost efficiency and practicality began to dominate over intrinsic metal value. Yet despite its composition, the 1972 no-mint mark quarter retains nostalgic value, symbolizing a blend of America's economic evolution and its artistic coinage heritage. Collectors also pay attention to minting variations and die errors associated with this year. Some 1972 quarters show slight die cracks, doubling, or off-center strikes, which can dramatically increase their desirability and value. These errors occur when the dies used to strike the coins wear down or become misaligned, creating unique patterns that make each affected coin one of a kind. Error coins from the 1972 issue have been known to sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, depending on the visibility and uniqueness of the minting mistake. Therefore, it's always wise for collectors to carefully inspect their 1972 quarters under magnification to check for any anomalies. The appeal of the 1972 no-mint mark quarter also lies in its accessibility. While rare versions can command high prices, the coin itself remains relatively easy to find in circulation or old coin jars, making it an exciting discovery for casual coin hunters. There's always a thrill in finding a vintage coin from the early 1970s that still retains much of its original detail. This sense of connection to the past and the opportunity to hold a piece of American history in your hand makes coin collecting such a rewarding hobby. The 1972 quarter is a tangible link to the country's past, representing a period of social transformation, artistic craftsmanship, and economic adaptation. When assessing the value of your 1972 quarter, several key factors come into play: grade, rarity, eye appeal, and demand. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, known as the Sheldon's scale, where a grade of MS65 or higher, mint state, represents a near-perfect coin with strong luster and minimal imperfections. Quarters from 1972 that achieve such grades are extremely rare, as few were saved in mint condition. The demand for high-grade examples among collectors continues to grow, as many enthusiasts aim to complete full sets of Washington quarters from the 20th century. As a result, prices for top-quality 1972 no-mint mark quarters remain strong and steady in the numismatic market. The artistry of the coin also plays a crucial role in its enduring popularity. The clean, symmetrical design of the Washington quarter has long been admired by collectors for its timeless aesthetic. The obverse's dignified portrayal of George Washington and the reverse's symbolic representation of national strength make it a coin that appeals not just to American collectors, but to coin enthusiasts worldwide. Moreover, since the design remained relatively consistent until the introduction of the 50-state quarters program in 1999, coins like the 1972 quarter are cherished as part of America's classic coinage era. Today, the market value of the 1972 no-mint mark Washington quarter can reach up to $700 for coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially those certified by major grading companies. Average circulated coins, however, typically hold face value or slightly above, depending on condition. Nonetheless, the allure of potentially finding one in exceptional condition keeps collectors motivated to search through pocket change, old rolls, and inherited collections. It's not just about monetary worth. It's about uncovering a piece of history that connects directly to a bygone era of craftsmanship and design. In conclusion, the 1972 no-mint mark Washington quarter dollar stands as a fascinating reminder that even modern-era coins can hold immense historical and collectible value. With its elegant design, historical context, and potential worth of up to $700, this coin continues to capture the imagination of coin enthusiasts across the world. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just beginning to explore the world of numismatics, the 1972 quarter offers a perfect blend of history, artistry, and opportunity. So next time you come across a 1972 no-mint mark quarter in your collection or change, take a closer look. It might just be a hidden gem waiting to reveal its true value. Next up, the 1973 no-mint mark Washington quarter dollar is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history that continues to capture the interest of collectors and enthusiasts around the world. Minted during a transitional era in U.S. coinage, this quarter not only represents the enduring legacy of the Washington series, but also holds significant collectible value due to its rarity in high-grade conditions and historical context. The absence of a mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use mint marks on its coins until 1980. Although millions of these quarters were produced for circulation, finding a 1973 no-mint mark quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition is a true rarity. And that's exactly what makes it valuable. Depending on condition, luster, and grade, this coin can have a market value of up to $800, making it a highly desirable piece for coin collectors seeking treasures from the 1970s. To fully understand the importance of the 1973 no-mint mark quarter, one must appreciate the historical background of the Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The obverse of the coin features the dignified bust of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, based on the classical portrait by Jean-Antoine Houdon. The reverse of the coin displays a bold eagle with spread wings perched atop a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, symbolizing both military strength and the nation's enduring commitment to peace. By 1973, this iconic design had become a familiar sight in American currency, yet it continued to embody the spirit of patriotism and artistry that defined the series for decades. The 1973 quarter was struck using the copper-nickel-clad composition introduced in 1965, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This change had been made to replace the 90% silver content of earlier quarters, which had become too costly due to rising silver prices. While the new composition meant that the intrinsic metal value was lower, it also made these coins more durable for everyday circulation. However, this also meant that most 1973 quarters saw heavy use and suffered from wear, scratches, and loss of detail over time. For this reason, finding a 1973 no-mint mark quarter with sharp details, strong luster, and minimal contact marks is quite rare, and collectors are willing to pay high premiums for such specimens. What truly makes the 1973 no-mint mark Washington quarter fascinating is how it reflects America's economic and cultural environment in the early 1970s. This was a period marked by post-war optimism, but also inflation, political change, and a shifting national identity. As coinage evolved away from precious metals, the U.S. Mint focused more on efficiency and consistency in production. Yet, even within these mass-produced coins, collectors have discovered small variations and minting anomalies that add layers of intrigue. Some 1973 quarters exhibit die cracks, doubled dies, and off-center strikes, all of which significantly increase their rarity and value. These minting errors are highly prized among numismatists, as they represent accidental creations that make each coin truly one of a kind. While the Philadelphia Mint struck millions of 1973 quarters, only a fraction of them have survived in uncirculated or mint state condition today. Over decades of circulation, the majority of these coins were exposed to environmental wear, corrosion, and mechanical damage, reducing their collectible value. However, coins that were saved early on or preserved in mint sets often retain their original brilliance. Quarters graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services such as NGC or PCGS can fetch impressive prices, sometimes reaching $800 or more. The higher the grade, the rarer the coin becomes, as even slight imperfections can greatly affect its overall desirability among collectors. The design details on a well-preserved 1973 no-mint mark quarter are a sight to behold. On the obverse, Washington's hair curls are crisp and well-defined, with a distinct separation between the strands and a sharp outline of his jaw and collar. The inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1973 are bold and clear. On the reverse, the eagle's feathers show intricate detail, and the olive branches beneath it remain sharp and well-textured. Such fine artistry is a hallmark of the Washington Quarter series, and when found in high-grade condition, the 1973 quarter stands as a beautiful representation of American craftsmanship and history. For many collectors, the thrill of finding a valuable coin like the 1973 no-mint mark quarter lies not only in its monetary worth, but also in its historical significance. Each coin carries a story, a snapshot of the time and circumstances in which it was minted. The early 1970s saw significant technological advancements in minting, as well as growing public interest in coin collecting. In fact, the modern era of U.S. coin collecting owes much to coins like the 1973 quarter, which bridged the gap between the silver coinage of the past and the modern clad designs of the future. Another reason collectors cherish this coin is its role in completing a Washington quarter collection. Building a complete set from 1932 through the 1970s requires finding both mint mark and no mint mark varieties, and high-grade 1973 Philadelphia issues are notably challenging to acquire. As such, the 1973 no mint mark quarter occupies an important place in any serious Washington Quarter Series collection. Collectors are particularly drawn to coins that have been authenticated and encapsulated by professional grading companies, as certification adds both value and security when buying or selling. Over the years, auctions and online marketplaces have showcased remarkable sales of high-grade 1973 no mint mark quarters. Some gem-quality examples have sold for hundreds of dollars, while coins with special features such as mirror-like surfaces or proof-like qualities have achieved prices close to $800. These high auction results reinforce the growing demand for older Washington quarters in top condition. Even though millions were produced, the small percentage that remains in exceptional shape ensures continued interest and investment potential. From a visual and historical standpoint, the 1973 no mint mark Washington quarter embodies a timeless piece of American culture. Its design has remained an enduring symbol of the nation's ideals, liberty, strength, and unity, all reflected in the proud image of George Washington and the commanding presence of the eagle on the reverse. This coin reminds collectors that beauty, history, and value can coexist in even the simplest objects of daily life. Whether passed through countless hands in circulation or preserved untouched for decades, each 1973 quarter tells its own story of the era it represents. Today, as coin collecting continues to gain global popularity, coins like the 1973 no mint mark Washington quarter dollar have become valuable educational tools as well. They allow enthusiasts to explore the economic, cultural, and artistic evolution of American coinage. For new collectors, finding one in decent condition might spark a lifelong passion for numismatics. For seasoned collectors, owning a high-grade specimen is a point of pride and a testament to careful preservation and historical appreciation. In conclusion, the 1973 no mint mark Washington quarter dollar stands as a remarkable coin that blends artistry, history, and collectible value in a single piece of metal. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this quarter is part of the enduring Washington series that has served the nation for decades. Its market value, which can reach up to $800 in uncirculated condition, is driven by its rarity, preservation, and demand among coin collectors. More than just currency, the 1973 quarter represents a tangible link to America's past, reflecting a period of transformation in both design and economy. So if you ever come across a 1973 no mint mark quarter in your collection or pocket change, don't overlook it. It could be a hidden treasure worth hundreds of dollars, and more importantly, a lasting symbol of American heritage and numismatic beauty.